Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and today I'm taking a look at a small, very small expansion, or couple of expansions, for the Fantastic Seven Wonders. That is the Anniversary Pack for Seven Wonders Leaders expansion, and the Anniversary Pack for Seven Wonders Cities expansion. As I said, and as you can see, these are quite tiny, just 15 cards each, and they are going to enhance the respective expansions for the base game of Seven Wonders. This is a great idea, and when I first heard about it, I was very excited, especially for the Leaders expansion, because it's still my favorite addition that they've done to the base Seven Wonders game. So, I'm going to give you a look at what's in here, show you some of the cards in there, and tell you what I think of them. Again, these are just going to be additions that you shuffle into the existing expansions, and you've got more cards to play with. So, let's take a look at them. So here we've got the Leaders Anniversary Pack, which comes with its 15 cards and a little rule book. It comes in this kind of packaging, as you saw already, in sort of a booster pack. If you know collectible card games, it has that same sort of packaging. And you are going to get these 15 cards, which are all very nicely marked, by the way, with a very small symbol down here, to allow you to separate these out from the main cards in the game. I like that touch. It's very nice. And they are going to do a few different things, all represented very easily and clearly here in the small rulebook. And so, for example, I'll just show you a couple of these. You've got this character here that you are going to pay an amount of gold equal to whatever age you play it in, and then it's going to give you one of the victory point military tokens equal to the age you're in, right? And you've got a set of these. These four function the same way. Let's move them over so you can take a look at those. So these four are going to be worth 5 victory points if you have more of the represented card than your neighbors. So if you've got more yellow cards than both your neighbors, 5 victory points. More red military cards than both your neighbors, 5 victory points, and so on. You've also got one of these for gold. If you've got more gold than your neighbors, 5 victory points. This one here says that if it's your only leader that you've played, it's worth 7 victory points. And then you've got this one that gives you an extra science symbol of the ones you've got the most of. This one here allows you to get 2 gold whenever one of your neighbors builds a stage, a wonder, of the, a stage of their wonders. This one here is when you build, you get 2 coins, your neighbors lose 1 when you build your wonder. This one here allows you at the end of the game to trade one of your science symbols for another one. You can exchange one of the ones you have for a different one. This pays you victory points if you have pairs of military conquest tokens, things like that. All right? And again, don't forget the A represents the age in which it is played. So you've got, I guess I did show you basically all of them there, but you've got 15 new cards here for your leaders, all with kind of an interesting sheen there that doesn't really match the rest of the cards in the game. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest, but they do have sort of a fancy look to them. So let's take a look at the Cities Anniversary Pack. And here it is, the cards that go with the Cities expansion to the game. Now, I have a couple more issues with this one than I do with the Leaders. For one thing, there's a little less variety among the cards here. I'll show you in 1 second. But also, the backs of the cards, at least with my version of Seven Wonders, the colors don't quite match. Now, if you sleeve your cards with opaque sleeves, then that's not really a problem. But it is otherwise noticeable that, you have cards that are from perhaps this set, and you'll be able to tell from the back, especially these first age cards are, in my own printing of the game, a lot lighter than this color. This is a lot more orange to me, so they're not quite a match there. So here's what I'm talking about as far as the card differences. So you've got basically sets. Most of these come in a set of 3 cards, 1 per age, as you can tell here. and they'll do similar things that just sort of ramp up depending on the age. So these 3, for example, you've got you'll make some money, and the other players will lose some money. You've got these 3 here, in which you're going to get some victory points, and the opponents around, everybody else is going to get some money. And then you've got these that are victory points for specific conquest symbols, depending once again on the age. You've got these, again, same thing, 3 times, just ramping up. And you really just got 3 cards that are unique and different, and they don't run in a set of 3 representing the 3 stages of the game, such as this one here, the Counterfeiter's Office, that allows you to build a card that's been discarded for free. A power we've seen before, but now you've got it in one of these cities cards. So there you go. That's everything that comes in the 2 little packs here. This one again has sort of the same shiny finish to it, a slightly different printing technique there. But that should give you an idea of what comes in here. Pretty good idea, in fact. So let's go back up top. Let me tell you how I myself personally felt about these. All right, so that's what's in there. Let's talk about this. I'm going to run quickly through my target audience system here. So thematic ties, same as in the base game. These fold in nicely. They continue the ideas of the game. And I always found Seven Wonders fun for their striving for a game that was thematic, but abstracted enough that the game played quickly. And just, you felt like you were building an empire, but so fast that the game kept me engaged. The aesthetics here are a mixed bag, again, because some of the card backs don't mix in with my set anyway, for the Cities expansion. And the front of the cards, while they look nice in a vacuum, on their own, these are very nicely printed. They do look different than the ones in the base game, and I would rather they just shuffle in, flawlessly. They wouldn't stand out. I do like the symbol at the bottom of the cards, though, to separate them. That's a great move. But while these look very nice, there's no reason to make them look different than what's in the base game, because I find that pulls focus a little bit for me. Replayability on these is fine. There's 15 cards in each, so you're not getting a whole large expansion, but their cost is representative of that. These are cheap little booster packs, And I like this idea for an expansion. I like being able to buy a little thing for a few bucks and sort of giving the base game and that matching expansion a little shot in the arm, a little boost. So I like that. The game length is fine. It's the same as in the original game, except for maybe the Cities one, because you do have that setup that you still need to do in the Cities expansion. You've now got more cards you need to shuffle in to then pull from to set up the right amount, whereas the leaders, you just shuffle these in and deal out the number you need to each player. That's it. It doesn't matter. These are a little bit faster. And yes, you'll hear throughout my review here that I do have a little bit of a bias towards leaders being my favorite. All right, so there you go. That's game length. Ease of play is fine. I enjoy the way these play. I like what they do. And they fold in very nicely with the powers that are already represented in those respective expansions. And then lastly, tactics and strategy, luck, things like that. I think they're both very nice. My main issue, again, with the Leaders booster here, the Cities booster here, is that there's not as much innovation in this one as there is, I feel, in the Leaders pack, just because there's repeats, right? Those sets of 3. 1 for each age. So really designing one of those cards, it leads to 3. It's like, okay, well, ramp it up for the second stage, ramp it up again for the third stage. Those are done. How about this card idea? Fine, get 3 out of those. Next idea. So not as much that's different in this one, Whereas Leaders, I think the strategy, the tactics in here are very interesting, and you are going to want to adapt to the leaders you drafted at the beginning of the game. Very cool. So overall, I like these. I think they are a nice idea, like I said, for an expansion to an expansion, right? A little boost in the arm, a little shot in the arm for the original packages. And I would certainly recommend them. You don't necessarily need to buy both, of course. For me, the Leaders is the best one, but I like Leaders better. If you don't like that, then maybe this is the one for you. But certainly if you like either one of these expansions, these are pretty much no-brainers. Get them, add them in, especially if you're sleeving your game anyway, like I said, and they have opaque backs, and you don't have to worry about my concerns with that. And yeah, you get 7 Wonders to the table again with a few new cards in there. So there you go. This one gets a seal of approval from me, a very strong one. They're nice. It's a cool idea. I hope they do some more of them. So there you go. I'm Z Garcia. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.